What's good, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. And we have breaking news in the NBA. Dejounte Murray is traded to the New Orleans Pelicans for Larry Nance Jr., Dyson Daniels, and two first-round picks. When I first saw this, I thought this was going to be the Brandon Ingram Dejounte Murray deal, but the New Orleans Pelicans got out of it without having to give up Brandon Ingram. Make sure to like and subscribe, go into the description and submit your video ideas. And you know what, since we're on here, make sure to go follow our X. I mean, haven't really posted nothing, so maybe we'll start posting soon, but like I'm really posting nothing too much. So yeah. DeJounte Murray for Larry Nance Jr., Dyson Daniels, and two first-round picks. Let's get into it. So when I do these, I like to start with the team who got the better player, and that was the New Orleans Pelicans. The trade package for them, interesting. Larry Nance Jr., Dyson Daniels, and like I said, two first-round picks. The 2025 first-round pick is going to be via the Lakers. So it depends how the Lakers do this upcoming season. The Atlanta Hawks will own that pick. Because this year the New Orleans Pelicans decided to give this year's pick to the Lakers, which then they got don't connect. So they're actually going to take next year's pick, and then they traded the pick that they got for next year to the Atlanta Hawks. The 2027 first round pick is going to be the swap worst of the Bucks and the Pelicans. So whatever team has the worst record by then, it will, or the Atlanta Hawks will have that pick. So, okay, thinking about their lineup right now, or I guess I want to start with if there was a fair trade for either side. For the Pelicans, like we started with, I think this is a fine package. At first, I thought it was just Larry Nance Jr. and two first-round picks, and I was like, that's an absolute steal. Then they throw Dyson Daniels in there. Then they revealed what the picks were. I think next year the Lakers picks going to be around 20. They're going to be probably somewhat as good as they were this year as they will be next year. I mean, that team's just retooling. Really, they're not doing too much. Maybe they move D'Angelo Russell. Other than that, they kind of have the same core in LeBron, AD, obviously Austin Reeves too. For the other first round pick, I mean, I think the Bucks will probably be the worst team. That's going to be in 2 or 3 seasons where Giannis is older, Dame's older. So yeah, that could be a solid pick. Or the Bucks will be the worst team for the Pelicans, so that will end up being the Pelicans pick. So maybe both teams are bad by then, but I expect the Pelicans to be solid by 2027. So I wouldn't say the two first round picks are that good. I assume they're both going to be somewhere in the 20s. And then obviously Dyson Daniels, you can kind of just add him into the first round pick because he hasn't gotten too much exposure in the NBA yet. You know, in his first 2 seasons, didn't get too much playing time. So you can kind of put him with those other two first round picks. So you can say Larry Nance Jr. and three first round picks. Larry Nance Jr., probably just a throw in, something with the contracts. You had to match it up, Larry Nance Jr., I guess. Pelicans do need to look for center though. And when I saw this trade, I was very surprised that Clint Capella wasn't in the deal as well. I thought it was going to be something like Dejounte and Clint Capella for Brandon Ingram, Dyson Daniels, and maybe a first, or maybe they didn't even have to throw in a first. But no Clint Capella means the Pelicans are still looking for their starting center. Is that going to be Isaiah Hartenstein? Is that going to be Brook Lopez? Is that going to be Mitchell Robinson? There are a lot of guys that the Pelicans can add. In free agency alone, I mean, I don't think this team, especially now having Dejounte Murray, is going to have any cap space. So no Isaiah Hartenstein. If they were going to sign him, that had to be a sign and trade if they want him. Um, Mitchell Robinson, that'd have to be a trade, obviously. Andre Drummond, I don't think you'd want as their starting center. I think next design, you'd want a defensive-minded center. That's something they haven't been able to give them or give him in the last couple of years. I mean, you've had Jonas Valanciunas and you've had Jackson Hayes. Those two guys are not defensive-minded. And with Jonas Valanciunas leaving this year, they need another guy there. So they might make another trade. Could involve CJ McCollum because with the lineup right now for the New Orleans Pelicans, you had DeJounte Murray. Herb Jones will start over CJ McCollum if it comes to it. Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, and then you find your big man. So right now, CJ McCollum's not in that starting lineup. We could possibly see a CJ McCollum trade to find themselves a big man to put in the rotation because right now you have Eve Misi, and that's it. They don't have any other big man. Like I said, Jonas is leaving. Cody Zeller, I mean, he shouldn't matter, but he's a free agent as well. So they need big man badly. And I thought this was going to be available for them because they could get Clint Capella, but turns out it was not in the deal. Now for the Atlanta Hawks, first time looking at this, you might be like, oh, they got fleeced. DeJounte Murray for, Larry Nance Jr., Dyson Daniels, two first, whatever. But I honestly think it's not a terrible return. Obviously, I would have asked for Brandon Ingram. It looks like the Pelicans weren't actually trying to trade Brandon Ingram. Now, that contract's going to be interesting, like very interesting, because if they don't pay Brandon Ingram this offseason, then he's going to be a free agent next year. And then that's where stuff gets dicey. Are you going to be able to bring him back? Are you not? That's a big question. So Brandon Ingram could still possibly be on the move, but I was just surprised he wasn't in this specific deal. Maybe Brandon Ingram gets traded for a big man. Could definitely be interesting. I mean, think about big men who are available right now. I mean, like I said before, maybe Mitchell Robinson, but that doesn't feel like something you should do. And I don't think New York has enough money to take that money in. So still looking for a big man. But the Hawks lose Dejounte Murray. I don't think it's a terrible package to get back. Larry Nance Jr., like I said, just to throw in. Dyson Daniels on your team right now, backing up Trey Young. I'd like them to still have Kobe Buffkin. I want him to develop. I liked him a lot in Michigan. Then after that, that shooting guard position, I guess you have to throw in both Bogdan Bogdanovic. That can be very solid for them, I think, still. Even though he was a six-man last year, it looks like he's going to have to start now unless they make, like I said, another deal. Then I guess you'd have Dyson Daniels backing up Bogdan Bogdanovic. And then at the small forward, whatever, you can have DeAndre Hunter. You can have Sadiq Bey. They did trade AJ Griffin, which was pretty interesting. Power forward, obviously, Jalen Johnson, then center, whoever they want, whether that is going to be Clint Capella or Onyeka Okongwu. I think with this deal, Clint Capella could still be moved. I still expect him to be moved, honestly, just to free up minutes for Onyeka Okongwu because he should have been starting a long time ago. Other than that, I'm not sure how much I like it for the Atlanta Hawks. I think this team needs to still try to win games right now. Trey Young, he likes the city of Atlanta. Like he likes the city of Atlanta a lot, so I don't expect him to request a trade anytime soon. But right now, this team's not going to be good next season. You have Trey Young, Bogdan Bogdanovic. At the small forward, you have DeAndre Hunter, Jalen John. I guess you do have Zachary Rissache now. If you want him, you can put him in at the small forward. So, matter of fact, we'll say Zachary Rissache. You got Trey Young. You have Bogdan Bogdanovic, Zachary Rissache. At the power forward, you have Jalen Johnson, and then Onyeka Okongwu, Clint Capella. That team most likely is not going to be a top 8 seed in the East. That team might not be a top 9 seed in the East. That might be the 10th seed in the East when we think about teams that are going to get better going into next year. Taking a quick look at it, like teams I would take over the Atlanta Hawks going into next year right now. Obviously, the Celtics, the Knicks, the Bucks, the Cavs, the Magic, the Pacers, the Sixers, the Heat. That's already 8 right there. Um, I guess after that, maybe it's questionable. Honestly, the Hornets might have a better team than that right now. Um, Possibly. The Wizards know, Pistons know that those two will probably bottom out. Raptors, Raptors could be interesting. This Raptors team kind of reminds me of the team they had a couple years ago when Pascal Siakam was their best player, and they were what? What were they that year? I forgot what year that was. Was that 2021, 22, or was that 2021? I don't know. They were a top seed, and they didn't have yes, it was this year. They were a top seed, and this is without Kawhi Leonard, by the way. They were the 2 seed without Kawhi Leonard. This was the year right after their championship. Raptors team kind of reminds me of that other team or of that current Raptors team because we got Scotty Barnes as their main guy. He could be that replacement for Pascal Siakam. Then we possibly have Emmanuel Quickly. The Raptors could be good next season. I'm not sure if I put them over the Hawks, but I think there'd definitely be a question. So we have the top 8 guys. The Bulls will not be better than the Hawks next year. Then we possibly have the Raptors. So the Hawks are probably sitting at around the 10 seed once again. So they don't want to win right now. So we're in a very interesting retooling move right now for the Hawks. If I had to give the grades for the Hawks, I'd probably give it like a B, B minus, and for Pelicans probably like a B plus to an A minus. I'm just not sure what they do for CJ McCollum. Maybe they move him for a big man, but it's going to be interesting. So I hope you guys enjoyed, just reacting to the trade real quick. Definitely a lot more questions you can add. But my main takeaways is that Pelicans still don't have their big man, and they still have Brandon Ingram. The Atlanta Hawks still have Clint Capella. So thanks for watching this video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and see you guys next time. Peace.